go. It's working!
Yay!
Yay! So we're a few minutes ahead of time. Not a lot of minutes, so we'll just start. Welcome to episode 163 of the CosCast! Yay! Well, I am as always your main host, Anita, or Pixie Dust Cosplay, for those of you who have been following for some time. With me, I have my fellow co-hosts.
Sunniva.
Antonia.
Yes, welcome ladies, and also we are joined today by a very special guest, Martina, or also Operosie, as a lot of you people might know her on Instagram.
At least on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
So today we'll be getting to know you a little bit better as a cosplayer and talking a little bit about being new and young in the cosplay community, and we're looking very much forward to that. But before we do that, let's go into some of our usual segments. Have we been working on anything cosplay related during the past 2 weeks?
Maybe. Not working on, but buying and spending money on cosplay. Yes, I have bought some fabric from the internet, so I have no idea how it's going to turn out. But crossing fingers, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And for now, what I bought is secrets, and it is nothing that I have talked about making. So, yeah.
That's interesting.
I'll have to see how this turns out first, because the whole project scares me.
Okay, so it's a big project?
What?
Is it a big project?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least I think so.
I am intrigued.
So yeah, well, I'll just have to wait and see if it actually turns out to become something. Then yes, I will tell you. I promise. But until that happens, I'm just gonna keep it to myself so that this disappointment doesn't get too huge.
Right.
Wow, exciting. I haven't done anything cosplay related.
No, but that's
No.
okay. You've been gaming a lot, though.
I've been gaming a lot. Yeah, I blame Classic.
Yes, World of Warcraft is to blame. How about you?
Well, I actually just started to working on my first ever Disney cosplay. So that's pretty awesome, and I am working on rebuilding my Blackwatch Moira cosplay for BonsaiCon. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So that's what I've been doing.
Very cool.
What kind
Your
of Disney
Blackwatch
cosplay
is...
are you making?
I'm making Megra from Hercules.
Nice.
Cool.
That's an awesome character.
Yes.
Yeah, I love her.
Yes. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's got sass. We like that.
Yes.
Like a sassy princess.
I
We
think
do.
she's one of the first really rude female Disney characters.
Yeah.
Like she's not that innocent, cutesy, So she was very different when she first came.
Yeah, in other words, she has character.
Yes.
Yes.
She's a
Yes.
real person. No salt here at all. None.
We bring the tea.
We wouldn't. No, I haven't really been working on anything cosplay related myself. I've been thinking about things. I bought a cosplay book and some foam at DragonCon, but that's, weeks and weeks ago now, so...
You did receive a pattern though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I did receive a pattern. I almost forgot. I ordered a corset pattern because my League of Legends Order of the Lotus Irelia cosplay, I don't think that one's going to hold up without a corset. So, yeah.
That's gonna look so good, by the way.
Thank you, I hope so. She's going to be so expensive.
Oh.
Rest in peace, my bank account. That's all I have to say.
Well, if you start, competing, if it's a competing worthy costume and you compete in conventions like The Gathering or Spill Expo, you could actually win quite a
that's
lot.
true, but I would have to win.
just wait and see. Just like take it on hold.
Yeah, no, but she'll slowly but surely she'll come together. I've got to start somewhere. Yeah. So we'll see. At some point, I'll start making mock-ups or whatever. Right. So let's move on from cosplay progress to news from the geek and cosplay community. The first item on my list here was something that Sunniva submitted. Do you want to talk about it a little bit, maybe? It's the whole Disney thing.
It's more that people are angry that certain Disney movies, huge Disney movies, is held back from Norway and other countries, of course, and especially regarding Frozen 2. And also, I think this was what happened to the Toy Story 4 movie as well.
Yeah.
Like, it came to the cinemas here way later. And I get that they try to, hype it up and get some attention in the media before it kind of hits the rest of the world. But at the same time, people will most likely just watch it illegally on the internet instead of going to watch it at the movies. So...
Oh my lord. We're live in CC Tori's classroom.
What? What? Okay. Well, hello.
Hello, CC
Tori and classroom. Also, hello to Cosplay Studio and Rick and Ryurai, who are also in the chat. Can't mention
and
one.
everyone else who's here but not in the chat.
Rick says, better keep it PG now. No, we won't. And you know we won't, because we're forgetful. Easily distracted.
We're like 30. So,
yeah, that too. I have no filter. It's gone. There are no more fucks to give. Okay, but yes, but people are annoyed, and we understand. So the next piece of news I have is that ArthurCon, MetroCon, and PokemonCon, which are all being hosted on the 14th of September, I believe, are coming up. Are any of you going? Any of the people watching, or are you going, Martina?
I'm actually not going to any of them. I feel kind of stuck here in my little town. We do host KawaiiCon, which is good. But other than that, it's traveling is expensive when you're a student.
Yes,
it is. It's expensive no matter how old you are, to be honest.
Yes.
It really is.
I would have probably considered going to ArthurCon, I guess, because that is in Oslo, if I were home next weekend, which I'm not. I'm actually going to the Stavanger area, so it would have made sense for me to go to MetroCon, but I'm not going there. I'm going to do something else, which includes a secret place.
Does it have to do with ghost hunting?
Yes, it has everything to do with that. So expect a lot of, I guess, pictures from my trip, because it's going to be fun.
Cool. Me, myself, I can't go to any of those either, because I will be visiting some friends in Moss. So it's a long drive, so I'm just not. Nope.
You're probably going to play D&D though, so...
Probably.
Games
D&D or Mage or Vampires or something, so it'll be fun. I'll have a good time regardless. But I do hope everyone who does go to ArthurCon or MetroCon or PokemonCon have a wonderful time, because they are all wonderful conventions.
Yes.
So.
I might go to ArthurCon.
You should.
Cool.
You should.
There's a lot of cool people going, and I'm kind of, you're going, I want to too.
Yeah.
So, if I can borrow a certain wig, I will come as Odo.
The legendary Odo.
Of course you can borrow my wig, but then you'll have to pick it up before Wednesday, because I'm leaving on Thursday.
Yes.
Mm.
Let's see. Ryudai Art says that she's also going to Moss next weekend to visit her parents, so we won't be far apart. Well, at least, we can connect spiritually. Right. We just have to move on. The next piece of news I have is that Kotaku recently posted a little article about how different cosplay pictures look when they're not, super edited and taken with fancy equipment, just straight up Polaroid shots of people. So they posted that over on their pages, and there are links to all of the things we're discussing in the news on our Facebook page, so if you're interested in reading and watching pictures and stuff, you can go there to see them.
But it all depends also if they were taken by photographers or not. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where you give a real photographer a crap camera, and then you give just hobby photographers really, really expensive equipment, and you try and see the difference if you could, spot who is the photographer and who's not. And the photographer is much better at using what they have and light and stuff. So I bet it will look pretty cool if it's a Polaroid.
Oh yeah, it absolutely looks cool, but it looks more personal.
Yeah.
I mean, because great costumes still look great and funny costumes still look funny. It's just a very different context or frame of reference. So it looks more personal, more intimate and private than a fancy cosplay photo normally would.
But it also shows that a photographer who's really, really good at capturing moods is not available to do so. I can't really think of the right word, but is able to do so. No matter what kind of equipment they have.
Absolutely. I mean, if you are a talented photographer, or if you're worked really hard to become a good photographer, then that will always show in the end result, whether you're working with a cheap camera or not.
Yes.
Absolutely. The next piece is gaming related. Overwatch is coming to Nintendo Switch in October. So for all of you guys out there who have wanted to play Overwatch but don't own a computer or don't own a PlayStation, there you go. I'm very curious as to how Overwatch is going to work on a Nintendo Switch, though. I can't really imagine it. Like, I can't see it, but it'll probably work out. I mean, people play it on PlayStation.
Me neither.
It's interesting. If anyone out there owns a Nintendo Switch and are going to buy Overwatch for their Nintendo, please let us know how that works and if it actually works well, because that would be really fun to know.
Yep.
Let's see. Rick says that it looked like it had motion controls on the trailer.
That sounds so weird. Like, are you supposed to stand there like...
Yeah, I don't get
it. You play like Moira, you're just like...
You're like...
Yeah.
That would be like super immersive.
Very immersive. But I mean, I don't need any more, help to immerse myself in games than I already do.
No, but then you can use it like as a exercising thing.
Yes. I mean, I used to have iToy, and a lot of you are probably too young to know what an iToy is, but it's basically like a move thing for PlayStation. I think it was for the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 2. It was a little tiny camera, and it was one of the first of its kind where you had, like, games where you had to, like, use your body and, kick tiny ninjas that came at you on the screen, or do, like, a wishy-washy game where you would have to clean soap bubbles off your screen, and whoever was quickest won. Like, it was children's games. I was a kid when I owned this, so... It's ages ago. That really shows how old I am. Oh.
Don't throw brick in glass houses, please.
No. But anyway, Overwatch is coming to Switch. So now you know.
Yeah.
Also, if you've been paying attention to the whole Sony Marvel thing, we all know that SpiderMan is cancelled. Just cancelled. He will not appear in any Marvel movies from here on out because Sony and Marvel could not get to an agreement. for some
I think
reason.
it's just really sad. But I
It
guess
is really sad.
it's the same thing with X-Men as well. They
Yeah.
deserve to be in the Marvel universe too, but no.
No.
They cannot
So,
seem to work
I mean,
together.
I think it probably has a little bit to do with the fact that Sony kind of started its own Spider-Man reboot thing with Venom earlier, and I think they maybe want to keep exclusive rights to Spider-Man so they can make their
yeah.
own Spider-Man universe things.
It all makes sense, you know. It's not that it doesn't make sense, but
No.
it's like it's just idiotic for us who is following the movies. I don't
Yeah.
care if it's made by Marvel or Sony or whatever. I just want to see them all together in the same movie.
Yeah. So in the future, if they ever make any like Marvel Universe movies where it would be normal for Spider-Man to be a part of the movie, he's not. And they're all just going to have to pretend like they don't know who Spider-Man is and that Spider-Man never existed and wasn't a key role in the Avengers Endgame movie at all.
Yeah, no, they're probably just gonna make a lot of fun of it because that's
Yeah.
what Marvel does the best.
That's
I
what
guess.
they do usually. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. I have one more thing for the news though that you forgot to put in.
Yeah?
And this weekend that was not this right now, but last weekend was DragonCon,
Yes.
and I have talked a little bit to Niklas, which you can see here in the chat as well. I just saw him popping in. I just talked a little bit to him today because he was there, and I asked him like, why do you go to DragonCon? Because he has been there now. I think this was the 3rd year that he's been there. And for you who doesn't know what DragonCon is, it's an American convention. It's really big. It goes, I think it is like 3 or 4 days or something.
Yeah, and it's like a huge hotel. It's like a hotel with like 3 separate buildings connected to each other. It's huge.
It's not one hotel. It's like more hotels together. And I just asked like questions about what's the 3 best things about DragonCon, and he said, yeah, Thursday to Monday. Wow. With pre-parties on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thing is, with DragonCon, it's basically partycon. Because it's parties and concerts and panels and meetups, and there's so much stuff going on all the time. The venue is open 24 hours. It's open all the time. It doesn't close. And it's what he said is that it was really great to go to a convention where you don't have to follow the schedule of it opens at this time and it closes at this time, and you have to do everything that you want to do in a con day in between here. But you can do it whenever you like, and the freedom of that is one of the things that makes it so great. And also all the stuff that you can do. It's like if you go to MCM, for example, there's a few panels, but there's more vendors and venues. Here you have both vendors and venues, but you don't get tired of only walking through booths and stuff. There's other things you can do as well. And the meetups, like what we are used to here in Norway when we go to conventions is that we have one meetup for, let's say, for example, Overwatch. And you just show up in your costume and that's it. But at DragonCon, you have the regular meetups that we are used to, but you also have meetups for the same group, just in formal wear or party, or like you use your character for different types of the day. So you can have like a casual costume, a bathing suit costume, and the normal costume, but you still are the same character. So it's not just one meetup and then you forget about it. Could be like 3 meetups for the same fandom, different types of day with different themes. And it just sounds really, really great. So yeah, I kind of want to go, but it sounds exhausting most of the time.
Yeah, it does. Totally does.
Yeah. So yeah, that was what I wanted to add.
Cool. Yeah, good thing that you remembered, because I had totally forgotten. I see also Niklas is in the chat. He says, hey, yo.
Hi.
Yeah. And, yeah, he thought the whole Spider-Man thing made sense. Yes. Okay, so the last piece of news on my news list is that the mayor of Rio de Janeiro attempted to ban a comic book from a local book festival because it featured 2 men kissing each other. However, the judge in the court case ruled that removing the comic book would be breaching the freedom of speech. So that turned out great in the end. But yeah, bad on you, Mayor from Rio de Janeiro. I mean, like, you gotta be a special kind of asshole to ban a comic book with someone just kissing each other in it.
Yeah.
You
There's
suck.
worse things in the world. People are killing each other, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Also, there's nothing wrong in two guys kissing each other, so, you know,
No.
grow up.
Yeah, because they will allow comic books with murder and rape and everything like that, but two men kissing each other? No.
Oh, no. Can you imagine? No, so a good piece of news. Good judge. Good job on him.
Yes.
Absolutely. And also the links to all of the things, I repeat, are on our Facebook page. So if you want to check them out, you can go there and click there and read all of the things at your own leisure after the episode is over. Of course, not now.
Not now.
Not
We're just
now.
about to start.
Yes. So yeah, that was it for news. So that means that we can move on over to our main theme, which is an interview with the lovely Martina. And before we do, I'm going to try to show some pictures. Now, Streamlabs works a little bit differently than the regular OBS, so I can't add the screen share that I usually do, and screen share it the way I usually do while we're live streamed, because I didn't add it before we started it. Usually I would be able to fix that. So I'm going to just try to share it here so you guys can see a little bit, hopefully. So it'll cover. We're so professional, I swear.
Wow.
I absolutely adore that. Oh my god.
No. So as you can see, it's not ideal.
We'll figure this out by the next time we do this.
Yeah. No, it's going to have to be added as an actual scene to the thing.
Anita, you know, when we're using Discord, you can have the option to share your screen instead of your camera.
Yes, probably. That's also an option. I will see if I can do that. I'm not sure, though, because I have several screens.
So I don't know which one it is.
No! I don't always, you see. Turn on...
Just pick a
Let's
screen.
see.
Then
There we go.
put up the picture
Let's see
or something.
what this does. Nope. 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 You know what? I will put up some of the photos on our Facebook page so people can see them for themselves with links to the photographers and stuff. So, so we don't look around with all of this tech stuff. You know, growing pains, using new software. You're learning something new all the time.
Rick makes stuff totally on brand for the CosCast.
That was perfect.
Shade.
Ooh. Yes. Do you want some tea with that? But yeah, you're a wonderful cosplayer. People probably know you for your Moira, which is amazing.
Right. Yeah. It is what it is, kind of. I wrecked the whole cosplay after I finished Koei-Con, so I like it fell apart slowly but surely, but we're building her back up again, so that's good.
Yeah.
I think I didn't see that show, but I was there the day before or the day after, I don't remember. But
Yeah.
I remember that people have talked about your Moira cosplay, like I remember, I think it was Rin Beastry, who was like, oh my god, you should have seen this fantastic Moira at Koei-Con. She was so amazing.
Oh god.
Yeah, people have been talking about your skits. It was really good. I've also watched it on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is.
Thank you.
And you're
Thank
also
you,
really,
really.
really funny. I mean,
Yeah. I try to. I play on comedy, and it's something I really, really like to do. And standing on stage just give me life sometimes. That's honestly why I study it as well.
Yeah, I get that. You were also Aladdin in the opening one of the opening shows at KawaiiCon, or
Genie.
yeah,
Yes,
Genie.
I was
Yes,
Genie.
yes, the blue one.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. It was actually so much fun to be working with KawaiiCon to put up like an opening for the actual competition. Um, and also when you joined with amazing people like my class, it was spectacular. I am very happy that I managed to put everything together and that people enjoyed it. That's what really makes me happy.
It was really good. I remember because at least me and Anita were there. I don't remember if Tanya saw that when you. But
The
anyway.
genie?
Yeah.
I did see the genie.
Yeah, all right, then we all were there, and I remember because you have very, very, you have amazing stage presence, and it's really easy to see you when you're on stage because you have this energy that is very rare, actually. It just seems like it comes very natural to you, and I just wanted to let you know that because. I still remember your genie performance. It was really cool. Really good.
That's so sweet. No, it's just like I feel like it's so cliche to say that I was born to do this, but I was kind of born to do this.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's like the same with cosplay and stuff. I feel like I've just been liking it since I was like very, very young, and I've been doing the role play part and the looking at costumes for very long before I actually like got into cosplay itself. So yeah.
Yeah. I think we all kind of feel the same way. At least me and Sunniva, I know, have been very into theater and like reviews and stuff before we started. I don't remember if Tonya, if you used to do any theater in school. Did you?
Not nothing theater like besides what we had to do. Not that I don't like theater. I like theater, but I don't know. I was more of the drawing, sculpting kind of artist.
Artistic
I've
in
done
any
a lot
case.
I've done a lot of drama and theater and stuff, but my scene presence is nothing like you. I mean, it just seems so natural. And if I were like going at school at the same time, you would have been one of those girls that I would be like, I wish I was like you.
That's honestly just like the sweetest thing that I've ever heard.
It was meant as a compliment.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I hate her. She's so talented. Fuck her.
No, but I remember one of the funniest things that I've ever done is the Harry Potter skit at KawaiiCon.
It's so funny.
It's like the most genius idea ever, and that's probably like my favorite ever performance.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, Sunniva, can you find a link to the Harry Potter dance video and put it in the chat, please?
Yes, I can find a link to that,
Yes.
and you guys can move on.
Yes, we will move on because we've talked a little bit like loosely about you, but let's go into the actual questions. So just. Everyone knows your name is Martina, that you're Operosie on Instagram, and Kompeki Cosplay is a group channel that you're on YouTube.
Yes.
So they know where to find you on social media at least now, and they know that you study drama or theater and things like that. So we'll just skip the first question in the interview and just ask you, how long have you been into cosplay, and why did you decide to get into cosplay?
So like I briefly told you, I think I've been into cosplay for like forever, because I always like to dress up and make a fool of myself. And when I actually started with cosplay was 2017, 17, yeah, or 16. I'm a bit unsure. But I remember making my first cosplay and going to DesuCon as my first con, and then I couldn't go to DesuCon, so I ended up going to KaiCon instead, and it was my first ever convention, and I just remember liking it so much and thinking about all these amazing costumes that I could make with my bare hands, and yeah, just really was like, it was just like, it fitted perfect with everything because it was a mix of everything that I wanted to do. So that's really why I decided to get into it because, I like being on stage, I like theater, I like the roleplay part of it, but then I also like to design and cosplay uh, characters and yeah, that part as well.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. It's kind of like coming home because you can be all the creative things that you ever wanted to be, and no one is going to say that, oh no, you have to focus on this one thing and just do that.
Yeah.
No, I can do everything.
Yes, and I totally fell in love with styling wigs. So it's just like you find these small things that you just totally love, and cosplay is kind of like everything combined in like a whole little lump.
Yeah, I think we feel a lot of the same. See, someone is in the chat and is guessing at our ages, our names, and what we do for a living. So, girl on the top left, I guess that's me. Apparently, I'm 23 or 25, and I'm 23 and a hairdresser. No, nice guess. I am not. I'm 31, and I am an illustrator. So no prize for you.
Apparently, I'm a gas station cashier.
Well, you both are 23 and 25 though, so that's
yeah,
good, right?
that's good. I mean, I can't complain.
I'm not sure if I want him to guess me.
No, let's move on with the show though.
Let's move on. Thanks for tuning in, but that's not what this is about.
No.
Okay, so what about, you kind of talked about it, what about cosplay is it that you enjoy the most? And it seems like it is like being able to do the whole stage and roleplay part, but also focus on other creative aspects.
Yeah, so I think like the most enjoyable about cosplay is performance, because it's just where I belong, and it's just like the whole progress of writing and like setting choreography and just practicing, and then like finally have this adrenaline on stage, the like energy and the feeling of just being there and giving people joy is like really amazing, and it's why I also study it and want it to become my living as well. So it's kind of like this never-ending energy that just gives me joy by giving others joy.
No, I totally get that. That's a good reason to do cosplay.
Yeah.
Tonya, do you want to maybe take the rest of the questions?
Right. Now, where did you stop? I was too busy looking the chat because it was too funny.
Yes, Tonya was just called
funny.
18 years old, so I guess she went out on like a
Am I supposed to be older than Tonya? Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Okay.
Yes, apparently so. Apparently so.
You're Cassandra and you're 21.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
where did you left off?
I think it was question number. We finished number 3.
Number 4. Number 4 is the next
one. Thank you. So, who are your cosplay idols or favorite cosplayers?
So I really stan Grimm Cosplay, or Marte. She's like my favorite person and cosplayer in like the whole entire world. And her like advices and panels and the way she's so down to earth is just like a really nice thing because when you're as young as me and you come into the cosplay community, you're kind of scared uh, because it's a totally new world and with so many people. And so I appreciate it a lot when I started to talk to Marte, and she's just been like my cosplay idol and favorite cosplayer since then.
Marta is a really sweet person.
She is.
For those of you who don't know who we're talking about, that is Grimm Cosplay on Instagram and on Facebook, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grimm Cosplay has been on this show before. I don't
Several
remember
times.
which episode, but yes.
Yes. Total sweetheart. So kind. So sweet.
Yeah.
It was actually episode 42, DragonCon Pop review with Grimm. No, that's that's Grimm Costumes.
Yeah, there are several Grimms. But Grimm likes to talk about social media and how it affects people. So we've had them on for at least 2 episodes about that, I believe.
It was at least episode 104, interview with Grimm Cosplay.
Yes.
Nice.
That's 2 years ago.
When we were younger. All right. So, what was it like for you to become a part of the cosplay community as a young and new cosplayer?
So like, I started cosplaying when I was 14. I think I was 14. I think I just like turned 14 that year, and it's intimidating seeing all of these like great costumes and big cosplayers, and you're just there trying to have a good time. And I remember walking into a convention like very early when I just started cosplay, and I got a rather unpleasing comment. And when you're 14 and get something like that because of your costume, you kind of go down in the basement. And
Did someone say something mean about your costume specifically?
Yeah, so I was cosplaying like Harley Quinn, and it was inaccurate because I didn't want to wear her shorts because I felt uncomfortable doing that.
Yeah, totally get that, by the way.
Yeah. So it was like not accurate enough and stuff. It was just like a mess, and I just remember being like so hurt. And after that, I decided that when I grow up and when I become a bigger part of this community, I will take all of the 14-year-olds and I will hug them. It's just like it's not. It's like you think cosplay should be this accepting community. And this really wonderful thing where people connect because they have the same hobbies. But then, there's still the judgment that will fall sometimes.
Yeah, and usually that mostly happens with people who aren't a part of the cosplay community. Like, in general, it's usually people who are a bit, like, outside of the community, who don't really know what cosplay is, or who have never been to a convention, or who haven't been in the community for a long time. So you'll get some of those rude comments like, "Oh, that's inaccurate," or something.
And you always have those few who are elitists.
And it's super annoying. And you shouldn't have had to hear that. That's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I understand where you're coming from. It's like when you have those kinds of experiences, you kind of get motivated that I don't want anyone else to have to go through that. So I am going to actively work, look for those kinds of things, or be accepting of others and stuff like that. So I think that's a very good quality.
And a thing of this is like, no matter if you like make your cosplay or if you buy your cosplay or get your cosplay like done for you, I think everyone should just have credit for doing what they're doing and doing it awesome. And especially like when people are new, because new like cosplayers to the cosplay community are usually like shy or keep grouping up with just their friends.
Yeah.
And it's really like devastating to see someone so desperately wanting to talk to somebody who's like of bigger elite, if you know what I mean, and then like not getting to do that because they're too shy or they don't dare or
Yeah.
they're afraid they'll make a fool of
Yeah.
themselves.
I mean, I totally understand what you mean when you say like the elite, people who have been in the community for a long while, people that people look up to, who have a lot of skill that they worked hard to achieve. But I don't like the word elite because
No, me neither. That's why I was like,
yeah, because it's not really a thing. There is no such thing as a cosplay elite because everyone in the cosplay community are just people, and some people have just been doing it for so much longer than other people have. But they're still just normal people, and if you go up and talk to them, like people like Rin Beastie or Celia Danielson or whatever, they're still going to be super sweet and super nice, and unless they're super busy, they will say hi to you and talk to you like a normal human being.
But
So
we also have to remember that there's a lot of people, different types of people in the cosplay community too. And like you don't know a person you've never talked to, you don't know what their background is.
No.
Maybe they suffer for major social anxiety for all we know.
Yeah, I mean, we're like that. We've had people come up and talk to us at conventions and be like, "Oh, I wasn't sure if it was okay to come up and talk to you," and we were like, yeah, just come talk to us because we're too scared to talk to everyone, okay?
Yeah.
The only way we get to talk to people is on this show. That's it. Like, if we didn't know people at conventions, we wouldn't talk to anyone because we're too shy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's but I understand where younger cosplayers are coming from because they are young and they are inexperienced and they really, really want to find a place where they fit in, where they feel comfortable and like they're welcome.
Yeah, but it's like that when you start something new.
Yeah, absolutely.
If everyone who starts that new thing at the same time, then it doesn't feel as scary, like when you start a new class in school or stuff like that, because everyone starts at the same place. But when you come into a community that's already established as new, yeah, of course it's scary and of course it's intimidating. Of course it seems as if everyone else is so good friends already, and yeah, I get it that it's scary. Even I think it's scary still.
Yeah. Also, like, another thing about being young in the cosplay community is that I don't think people expect you to, like, for example, like me. Take me as an example. I put myself on the Kawaii-Con stage when I was 15. Yeah, I turned 16. And I was very flattered and I had lots of fun, and I was just getting all these comments like, "Oh my god, you're so cool, like how old are you?" And I would tell my age and they were like, "Oh my god, you're so young." And I was like, "Yeah, I haven't been doing this for very long, but I try to make it as fun as I can." And I think a lot of people can get the, "Oh, you're so young. Oh, you're doing this, but you're so young." And like
Get tired of it?
It's a comment that, my age don't really matter, I feel. No matter like if it's on stage or if it's like in social settings, because, it's like your mind that matters, or how you talk or how you behave. That really has something to do with your age, not just a number.
And also, it could be that they're using, but you're so young, because they don't know how else to express how amazed they are over your talent. because maybe they're older and maybe they didn't start as young as you did.
Yeah.
So they're impressed by your skill set.
Yeah.
I think there might be some truth to that because you seem like you have a lot of confidence, and if you don't, you're doing a good job of hiding the fact. And to a lot of people, especially in the cosplay community, where a lot of people do struggle with self-esteem or a sense of self, it can be very impressive to see someone so young with so much self-assurance, and that isn't afraid to put themselves out there and just go for it, even though they are very young. So I would take it as a compliment, but I can also totally see where it would get tiresome at some point.
Yeah, well,
same thing with us though, because we all three of us are very short.
Yes.
And like I guess people mean it as, or I don't even know how people mean it, but the first thing people say is like, "Oh wow, you guys are short." We're like, "Is this a compliment?"
Yeah, right. You don't know where to take it.
No.
No. I'm very used to hearing that all my life, and it's like, really? I didn't notice before now.
No. The fact that I need a little step ladder to reach the highest shelf in the store never graced my mind before this point in time when you told me I was short.
If it's something you hear all the time, like, "You're that young. Oh wow, you're young." It's gonna be. It's gonna come to the point where you don't really know where to take it anymore.
On the other hand, hearing that, "What, you're 31? I thought you were 22," is never going to get old. So keep telling me that. Thank you.
I get that.
I'm just gonna read some comments because Niklas is saying that being a guy and approaching other cosplayers can be weird sometimes as well. Not just age. And, and yeah, I can get where that could be an issue in some aspects. But it shouldn't be, it shouldn't really be. Because as Ace Platinum is saying, that cosplay is supposed to be unisex, but you never know how people will react to anything, so...
And sometimes you don't even know who's under that costume. I mean, I have met people that I have known for several years and not recognized them because they're wearing a wig and a lot of makeup, and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's you! I'm so sorry, I didn't notice!" So it can be confusing.
Yes.
And Wee says, "Amen to age doesn't matter."
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And we agree.
Indeed.
Should be the love of the hobby that matters and not other
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
I've also seen increased amount of people of a younger age that's joining the cosplay community.
That's
like
really good.
right now, and yeah, I think we need it. I think it's very good.
Yeah, diversity.
I was a bit afraid of, when DesuCon stopped, that it would kind of not kill cosplay, but kind of put like a break in the way that younger or new cosplayers would find conventions or
it would get harder.
But it seems like it doesn't. It seems like all the smaller conventions are getting a lot more contestants or people attending because of DesuCon being away. And I think maybe it's easier now to actually be welcomed in the community in a better way now, because the conventions that are available now are a bit smaller and more personal. You don't get lost as one tend to do maybe at the
And I mean, that's a good tip for people who are young and new to the community. Start with a small convention because it won't be as scary and difficult to maneuver as a really big convention.
Like KawaiiCon. KawaiiCon
is perfect.
KawaiiCon is best.
Alright.
Ace Platinum is saying, lol, after saying you don't know who's under there, I'm just imagining a guy completely impersonating a bikini babe. The grand reveal. Sure would be really interesting.
So it would be like the banned Pokemon episode with James
Yes.
and the inflatable
Boobs.
bra thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are breastplates these days that look really authentic that drag queens use, so that could totally happen.
You should follow the, I think one of the cosplayers who, damn it, I don't remember his name, but he qualified in the World Cosplay Summit with Australia. He cosplays a lot of ladies, and he's super funny.
Yeah, I know which guy you
His
mean.
name.
Yeah.
So maybe, is it question 6?
Also, just before we do that, Ryudai Art says that KazukaCon sold out all the tickets they had and had to use the tickets from last year because so many people attended. And she would recommend Unicon and KazukaCon for smaller conventions to start at. Thank you, Ryudai.
Yes, but Unicon isn't called Unicon. It's Constellation.
Yes, it's now Constellation instead of Unicon. That is very true. I have to remember that now. Okay, let's see. Yes, oops, you're bad. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so now move on to question 6, Tanya.
Oh, I thought maybe Sunniva wanted to take some questions.
Oh yeah, what's happening?
Before we do that, I'm just gonna run and get my charger because I need that.
Alright, okay. We will just talk amongst ourselves in the meantime. We're good at that.
We should answer the question that Ace
Yes, we can do that.
What's going on?
Yeah, there's something weird with the audio. I'm having some really major feedback on my side.
Yeah, I've been hearing feedback all along.
I don't know what it's about.
Do you have like not muted the stream? Oh my god. I'm gonna mute myself.
What is the CosCast stream without some tech issues? I mean,
I should have done it before we started, but...
Oh, no, it's not your fault. We had some feedback on microphones. We don't know where it came from.
Is it fixed?
Yes.
I think so, but we cannot hear Anita now. She turned herself off.
All right, that's why.
Anyway.
Okay.
I'm gonna move on to question number 6, which is cosplay and Instagram. What are your thoughts on this subject? Oh wow, now we can't see anything. I think Anita's trying to fix stuff.
Should I just start or shall we wait on the...
Just start.
Well, I think Instagram is a super way to express yourself and show your pictures. And just be super open of sharing like your costumes quickly and your progress and everything. And I think it's a great way, but it's also a stressed kind of situation because when, you go into Instagram and you get like 0 likes and 0 followers, that could, make a person sad if you like worked a lot for your cosplay or for, something you really like to show people, and then it just doesn't, work out. And I remember not having like many followers on Instagram and stuff like that. And, I don't really mind it nowadays because now I just want to share my passion and share my love for cosplay. But I remember when I was younger that I would like think before I posted, oh, is this okay to post? Or, oh, will people like this? And it makes the whole situation kind of stressed.
Yeah, I get that. It's like the whole kind of Instagram thing. I've spent a lot of time to try and figure the whole thing out, and I still don't know what I really want to post or not. I tried out having like a separate account for cosplays and me stuff, and I just ended up deleting the cosplay account really. Not because I didn't like the things there, it was just I didn't feel like I could keep it up. And it was just stressful instead. I just wanted things I wanted to post. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I think it makes a lot of sense, actually. And, you know, some people like constantly worry about, like, oh, if this person gets so many likes, can I do the same? Or like, try to put themselves up against someone, and that never ends good. And I just feel like Instagram is, you know, both good and bad. It has cons and pros. It's a good way of expressing yourself, and you know, if people were a bit more like open to like share their Instagram and maybe like, you know, follow each other as friends instead of being followers, and fans, I think we would have a more like open concept about it.
Yeah. That makes sense. It does. But I think
Yeah.
Anita, your sound is really low.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah. No. So yeah, it can be really. There are friends like it gets like and right now are being comment to
They still can't hear you, Anita.
We can hear you perfectly, though.
Yeah.
You must have turned it down in OBS or something. Your own one. And I think you should repeat what you said because it was really.
Okay, I will try to repeat it word for word. I'll just do this instead, because my microphone is being.
No, we can hear you.
I know.
Whoa, sound! Yay!
Yay.
What? No.
No, it's I just switched my microphones because my this one was having trouble. So, hopefully you can all hear me now.
We
Now
can.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now good. Okay. Right. Okay. So, I'm going to try to repeat what I said. I'm not sure I'm going to remember all of it, but the thing with social media is that it can be really good. There are a lot of pros about social media, but it can be really soul crushing too, because when you put out something and you end up comparing yourself to what other people have made, and you think, oh, I'll never be this good, or some people get more response on something than you do on yours, and you think, why is that, and is there something wrong with me? Is what I'm posting not as interesting, not as good as what everyone else is doing? So yeah, it can be really devastating to a lot of people, especially young people who
Yeah.
but it can also be a good way to build up your self-confidence. I'm not going to be super negative about social media because it has helped me a lot with my own self-esteem. Like, I have right above 1,000 followers, which is, in the great context of things, not much. I mean, PewDiePie just hit 100 million subs the other day, but I mean, like, but to me, 1,000 is the world. I would never have dreamed that I would have 1,000 followers when I started on Instagram. Just
No, but
because.
in the greater scheme of things, 1,000 followers on Instagram is a lot. Most people have around 200 followers.
Yeah, I guess.
That's about
Yeah, and-
normal rate. So
and you know-
1,000 is a lot.
Yeah. Well, as I said, to me it is the world, because I never thought of myself as someone who was interesting enough for that many people to follow at any point in time. When I started my Instagram account, I just did it for fun because, oh, it's a new social media platform that I haven't tried. Let's try this. And then after a while, I ended up setting up a goal like, you know what? I'm going to try to reach 1,000. That's going to be my goal. And it took 4 or 5 years, but I got there in the end. So,
Yeah, and if you put it in context, like try to fit 1,000 people into a room.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I appreciate every like and every comment, and we actually started to get popular, not super popular, as you said. PewDiePie has 100 million subscribers.
But that's just crazy.
Yeah, we have 7,000, but I read every comment on our YouTube channel, and they really just give me so much joy, and just appreciating the small things. And I think if we as a cosplay community as a whole got better to commenting and liking other things, I think we could make Instagram even more positive and more pro than it is today.
Yeah, we tried to do that with the Instagram, but the thing with Instagram too is that it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time. And there was a period in time where we did every Friday do this feature Friday thing where we would feature a cosplayer that just posted something of those that we follow. And on the CosCast Instagram too, every cosplayer that follows us, we try to follow them back. Sometimes we, of course, miss out on someone. And we don't do that on purpose. It's just because we don't have 24 hours a day eyes on the CosCast Instagram.
Yeah.
We like to follow back everyone that actually does cosplay and isn't just following us, to then delete us after, because that's also a strategy that people uses.
Yeah.
Instagram is strategy, Instagram is algorithms, Instagram is ads. You have to know all of that stuff if you're going to grow on Instagram. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So if you're just doing it for fun, don't worry about the followers or the amounts of likes. Do it because you think it's fun. But if you are one of those people who want to grow, who want to get a following, the best advice I can give is look at what the big cosplayers are doing, figure out why they're doing it, and then try to make your own recipe for what will work for you and make your account grow.
Yeah.
It's all about what are you using social media for and what are you hoping to get out of it. And that should determine the way you feel about it and the way you use it. It's just it's a tool.
I think it's a really great thought, though, to like and comment. If you see something you like, just comment on it. Why do you think it's great? Because the comment in the end is going to mean so much more than, I'm not saying just they like, because likes mean stuff too, but if you actually take the time to say some nice words about someone, that can make their day.
Yeah, absolutely. Be kind.
Yes.
Yeah. And like I said, it's the same with YouTube. And it was weird in the beginning when we suddenly got our video suddenly blew up, and I was shocked, and we were getting all of these comments, and I still to this date read every comment I get. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Ace Platinum says, I like this stream, and my comment is hello.
Good comment.
Yes, a good comment. Cece says, hitting 1K followers was weird and satisfying and fun. Numbers aren't everything, though. It's important to try to distance yourself from it a bit. Yes.
Also, we now have a Overcast emote.
Yes.
It looks like this. There we go. If you put the smiley button, you can find it. there.
Yeah. If you just
That'd
type
be
in the
alright.
cause, you will find our Overcast emote. It finally got approved by Twitch. So whenever we are on Overcast time now, folks. So you can use it.
It's so small, I can't see what it is supposed to be like.
No, because it's super tiny.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out, like, when did I actually start my Instagram? I've been collecting followers since 2012. That's when I started Instagram. And my first picture is this. It's of my feet for some reason.
We're special interested.
I think
Yeah,
I think I
okay.
deleted my first post. I've been cleaning up because I have so many posts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
same.
emoticon. Ah, yeah, right. No, I think the emoticon might only be available for subscribers, which is a sad thing. But it is September, so all subs usually are $5, but now they're like $2.50 instead. So if you want to subscribe, then you can do that. But we're not going to pressure you to do it.
No.
We'll just spam the chat with the overcast symbol ourselves.
Yes. Anyway, I'm gonna ask the last question that we have on our list.
Yes, and then
before
we'll
we
do
move on.
Ace's random questions in the geekery section.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the last question we have prepared is one that was made by Sample. Well, I don't think Sample Cosplay is the one that made this question, but she is the one that made this question happen as a regular thing here at the CosCast
It
show.
is legendary.
And since you haven't been here before, we're gonna ask you. Are you
Okay.
ready?
I'm ready.
Good. If you were a fruit or a vegetable, which one would you be and why?
So, I think I would be a peach because they're sweet, you know, and they taste good. So I just feel like they have like this good aura or essence around them, and that's how I feel about myself, or at least that's how I want to be portrayed.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Sweet as a peach.
We'll have
Yeah.
people saying that they're a chili pepper or a habanero because they're tough and spicy, or being a peach because they're cute and sweet.
Yeah, and I just love Sample's answer because she said she would be a coconut because she's hairy on the outside and sweet on the inside.
Yeah.
So cute. And then there are the legendary grapes of Tina Maria Ries and Sofia Ries.
Oh, no.
Grapes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
now let's do Ace Platinum's question.
Yes.
Go on, shoot.
Which what fast food is the best, and which soda do you prefer?
Okay. What kind of fast food?
I answered that. I said hamburgers and chocolate milkshake.
Yeah, that's a good one. I really love fried chicken. I love it so much. And Coke Zero, or Coke without sugar, or whatever it's called now. It's my favorite.
I don't know. It all depends on what I crave. There's not one fast food that I love all over all the other ones. I don't know. Sometimes I want McDonald's and sometimes I don't. I don't know. I can't answer.
Yeah, well, I really like fried chicken as well, but have you tasted like cinnamon sticks on Domino's? They're just like
No.
the best thing in the whole entire world, and yeah. And also, I think my favorite soda is Fanta Exotic.
I used to love Fanta Exotic, but then I drank too much vodka and Fanta Exotic, and now I cannot drink it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
had the same
recommend
thing.
you destroy your favorite soda with alcohol. Just stay away.
Yeah,
because
don't.
it will be
Okay.
Don't
destroyed
do
for
it.
you if you start mixing that.
I will make sure to remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the same thing with Fanta Exotic and the original battery.
Yeah, because that's all you had back in the day. You had vodka, soda, and maybe some orange juice if you were lucky, and that was your cocktail for the evening, guys. Just saying.
Yeah,
Nick was saying, I've had Fanta Exotic in the store, and I was still sure.
Dude, I love Pepsi. Yes.
Normal Pepsi. Oh,
Yes.
that you don't really hear about people drinking.
Oh,
No.
I actually really like
No.
Pepsi. I do. But not Pepsi Max. But Rick likes Pepsi Max.
Yeah, me too.
Next
My
question,
boyfriend
though.
drinks Pepsi Max all the time.
Yeah, next question. He wants to know, what kind of cars do we drive?
I have a Toyota Auris, I think, and my hubby drives a Toyota Supra.
Me and my hubby, we share the car. We have a Subaru. Yes? Yes.
Subaru?
Yeah.
Yes.
From 2013, I think. It's Impreza? Isn't it?
Yes,
It's a
Impreza.
Subaru
It's the one
Impreza.
that's-
I'm really
yeah,
bad with cars. I don't care about cars. Ours works and it gets me from A to B. That's all I care about.
Yeah, my boyfriend drives a Toyota something, and now I can hear myself again. And I don't drive. I take the bus.
I don't have the license yet, but I do have a car.
Oh.
Yeah, because my family bought a second car for me to like practice driving, and so it turned out to be my car when I turned 18.
Nice.
And it's a Golf.
That was my first car too. My stepdad bought me a car before I had a license because he wanted to teach me how to, fix up a car, which we never did. But it was like a white Golf GTI from 1983.
Yeah.
And also, no, it's the new model Supra. It's not the old one. So Initial D wouldn't be running in the car. I'm sorry.
And Cosplay Studios' first car was a Golf as well. See, we're in good company. Learning things about each other. Ryurai has a Ford Kia. And it's small, so it doesn't suit a cosplayer at all. No, you need more trunk space, for sure.
You should do like Simon Huse and drive like a complete huge like a trailer thing for.
Yes. Yeah,
gear for,
he has this
for-
huge trailer that he just hooks up to his car when he goes to the conventions. It's brilliant. Let's see. Okay, next question. Ace Platinum wants to know, are you currently wearing shoes? No, we are not, because this is fucking Europe and we don't wear shoes inside.
Yes.
That is just weird.
We wear like the Japanese. We don't wear our shoes inside.
No.
No, because we've been outside, putting your shoes in dog poop or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't know what's on the ground.
Also, it's bad for your feet to constantly be wearing shoes because they get no air, so you get all sweaty and smelly all day long. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Socks for the win.
It's-
And the last one. Well, you know what? I'm not going to answer that, Ace Platinum. A lady doesn't tell.
No.
Really? I pooped today.
Okay, good for you. I don't want to talk about my bowel movements. Rick Makes Stuff says the Hobbits got it right. Bare feet for the win. Yeah, you and my hubby. He runs really warm, so he can't wear socks or whatever a lot of the time. All right, so that's your questions, Ace. I hope you're happy. Let's move on to other geekery things. Do people just really quickly want to recommend something that they've played or watched or listened to or whatever during the past 2 weeks that they would like to recommend to all of the other viewers or us? Let us
World of
know.
Warcraft Classic.
Which level are you now, Tonya? Oh, she
20.
doesn't wanna say
20.
20. Okay, that's not too bad.
That's
I
not so
think
bad.
I'm 11 or 12.
I am not playing World of Warcraft Classic, so
Hi, VS Cosplay. Nice to see you.
Hi. He's
He's
level 6. How about you, Martina? What have you been doing for the past 2 weeks?
I've been hardcore playing Skyblock on Minecraft. Yeah. I went back to the old days and I got my old like Minecraft partner, like my best friend since like way back, and yeah, we started a Skyblock and it's pretty epic.
It's cool. A lot of people have been playing Minecraft lately. It's
Yeah.
like,
It's like a renaissance for Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
same as with the World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I'm playing Minecraft as well, just, normal, nothing fancy schmancy, just normal.
But they say that Fortnite hype is about to die.
Yeah,
so-
they are.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But thank God.
Yeah, no, I mean, I barely know what Fortnite is about, to be honest. I just have not been bothered to jump into the hype with that thing. Just, no.
Yeah.
I like Overwatch.
Yeah, me too.
Same. I have actually started a new game, which I am playing with Kim, because she came over, or Rara, round it up. She came over and we started playing this game. It's a horror game, so it's perfect for autumn nights and, October coming up. It's called Until Dawn. I've been having it for like 2 or 3 years, but I haven't played it yet, and I haven't really looked it up and seen what it's about. The only thing that I know is that you're supposed to play as a teenage group of friends, and you go back to this cabin where 2 of your friends disappeared and was never found the year before. So yeah, you're basically making a lot of different choices throughout the game that will decide how your fate is going to be. And I am currently not so happy with my choices. I picked some stuff that I didn't pick up on at the time would become whatever it has become now. And I'm like, no! Because I was thinking that the game was going to just be spooky and scary in that way. No, so much worse. It's like hardcore gore at this moment.
Oh no. It sounds like a game that I cannot play. Horror games just fuck me up so bad. I'm such a scaredy cat.
It's really bad.
Me too. I can't watch like horror movies or horror games. No. I don't get any. So
No, exactly.
I keep away.
Yeah. No, if I watch them at night, I will have to sleep with a nightlight or something. I can watch horror movies at daytime, like around noon, because that gives me some time to get over it and forget that I had to watch it in the first place.
I'm broken. I had a friend that made me all the horror movies when we were children, so doesn't work on me.
No. But also, you hunt ghosts for fun, so you're kind. You're a bit tougher than we are. Wee says that I want to recommend a Norwegian HBO series, Beforeigners. Apparently, it's doing really well. A lot of people have been watching it lately. I haven't seen it yet, but it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I have had a lot of people talking about that.
Yeah, I've seen like a preview trailer thingy, and it's one line that one of the actors say. I mean, the characters say, it cracks me up. It's like, so what do your
what is the work guidelines on sexual relations between co-workers?
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh wow, yeah, you had to go there. Oh, it's so awkward. It made me want to go like, to be honest, but that's just me.
I think it's fun.
Yeah. Rick Makes Stuff says, I grew up watching K-horror and J-horror, so I'm kind of meh when it comes to Western stuff. Yeah, I get that. I do. Cosplay Studio says, The Dark Crystal on Netflix, must watch. Which is basically, if you grew up in the 80s, there was a movie called The Dark Crystal, which was a puppet movie made by Jim Henson. The guys behind that, they're really, really good. They also worked on the puppets on The Labyrinth. I never really liked The Dark Crystal, the movie itself, but I'm interested in seeing the TV show.
Same.
Also, I watched The Dark Crystal as an adult for the first time, so that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't love it.
Probably.
Yes. Speaking of horror games, since it's closing in on Halloween and stuff, I am thinking about, trying out a game that I have bought on Steam that I haven't tried yet. It's called Sherlock Holmes: The Devil's Daughter. And I think I might actually game stream that.
Yeah, why not? That could be fun. Do some Halloween-themed stuff. That could be cool.
Yeah, so if it sounds interesting, let me know, and I will definitely do it.
Let us know. I've been watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, thanks to Ginny D. I mean, the series has been on my to-see list for a long time, but when she decided to cosplay Mrs. Maisel recently, I was like, okay, I have to see this now, because I need to understand this reference. And it's really funny. It's a really good show. There are 2 seasons out now, and the 3rd season starts in December. And it's about this woman in the, 1950s, 1960s-ish era, who loses her husband and goes into stand-up comedy, and her manager is a woman who dresses like a guy, and people treat her like she is a guy, but she isn't. And it's funny. It's a good show. And the costumes the dresses are beautiful. So there's that. I highly recommend The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. It's on Amazon Prime for those of you who have that. Anything else?
Just that Glam and Gore is back. It's one of me and Anita's, at least, favorite YouTube channels. She does a lot of special effects makeup.
Hello, zombies!
Yes, and she's like... She kind of reminds me of Pamela Anderson sometimes.
Yeah.
But still, at the same time, she's like... does a lot of zombie makeup on her channel. And she's just very sweet and funny. You should check her videos.
Mm-mm. And Ryudart is also always recommending Fateful Fumble, our podcast production thingy, where we do Dragon Age and Vampire podcasts. And also Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. She's obsessed with that. Cool. Rick Makes Stuff says, you're not supposed to play games you buy on Steam. They just sit in your library silently judging you. Yeah, I have like 3 games I bought on Steam that I have legit not even opened yet.
I have more.
All right. I think that's gonna be it for this episode. We are way over time. We're 20 minutes overcast as per usual. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for everyone watching and participating in the chat. Thank you so much to the wonderful Martina for joining us today and talking about being new in the community and a lot of other important and fun and interesting things.
I will be posting the link for the Dumbledore video. It's in the chat now, so if you watch it before we end.
Well, I want to thank you for letting me be here.
Oh, you are more than welcome, and always welcome back if you ever would want to... It's late, I'm tired. Visit our podcast again. We will be back in 2 weeks with Rihanna Futu, who is going to be talking about photography and other fun things. So we hope you return in 2 weeks' time. And in the meantime, we will be doing game streams and other fun stuff. So drop by whenever.
Yes.
Yeah.
The next stream, I won't be here. But I might...
What?
Well, capable of...
Yeah, we can handle it. We'll survive. It'll be okay. Barely. It'll be hard, but we'll make it. Okay, so thanks guys for watching. We'll see you soon. Remember to subscribe and share with your friends if you think they would like our show. See you. Bye!
Bye bye.